Imagine if you could have access to the future, to be capable of creating a car, mixing the lines of an Aston Martin DB5 with a Jaguar E-Type, being able to see how cars and motorcycles would look like 30 years from now. It sounds very tempting, doesn't it? The good news is that all of this is already possible today. And the proof is in the images you have seen so far, because none of them are real. And yes, artificial intelligence is becoming unbelievably advanced. And if you like to see new ideas, fresh designs, new approaches, then you will love this video. Welcome to Racer TV. If you're thinking that this photo has to be real, then I must admit that I used Photoshop. But believe it or not, everything you see here is fake. I simply used Photoshop to flip the image. Yes, the level of realism is quite impressive. Very often it is impossible to distinguish AI images from reality. But the opposite of this sentence is also true. From my experience, and just like all of us, artificial intelligence has good days and bad days. And so we can conclude that AI will replace all human designers, and they can all go home now. Right? Fortunately, no. And here is why. All these images were generated in a paid version of Midjourney. Basically, we just need to learn how to create a good prompt. And about 30 seconds later, we get 4 high-quality images. After choosing our favorite, we can generate 4 more variations based on that same image. The entire process is relatively easy. The big problem is that we never get exactly what we ask for, especially when we deal with motorcycles. But I'll explain this in a few minutes. So, do you know what car this is? Some will say it's a JaguarEType. But if you look closely, there are some differences. Interestingly, this car is a mix of an E-Type with the Aston Martin DB5. I must say that the combination of the two cars is quite coherent. Some of the images came out too flat, but they can easily be corrected in Photoshop. And I have to admit, what magnificent lines. I also tried to combine the E-Type with the Porsche 911. It's not bad, but I think the different styles of these two cars don't mix well. I also tried to create a futuristic version of the iconic Citroën DS with a certain Apple style. And I really liked this one. Then I asked for more variations of this image, and this is what came out. What a magnificent design. I was blown away by these beautiful lines. Notice the elegance, the proportions. Personally, I found this one the most interesting of all. You've probably already noticed some errors in several of these images. And when we deal with motorcycles, these problems get even worse. The main difference compared to cars is that motorcycles have many visible details, and most of them are quite complex, which means the AI will make tons of mistakes. Although Midjourney already has 6 versions and many updates, it is still difficult to achieve a realistic image with a motorcycle. In these images, it is quite obvious that artificial intelligence does not yet understand the different types of internal combustion engines. There are also problems in detecting the correct proportions and sizes of components. But every now and then, and with a lot of patience, it is possible to get a good image, like this one. Another important detail in Midjourney is the popularity and relevance of the vehicle we are working with. If we try a Moto Guzzi V7, not even the engine will be similar. On the other hand, brands such as BMW, Triumph, Honda, and even Royal Enfield are faithfully well represented. They will never be exactly identical to the real models, but the general lines will be close enough. And this also applies to brand logos. But in this case, it is not an error, as it is done on purpose. And now, here's the question that all followers of this channel want to know the answer to. Is it possible to create a custom project for our own motorcycle? From my experience, it is possible to get some interesting ideas and also to test some combinations. But you have to be aware that it will be a long process requiring a lot of trial and error, which means it may be possible. But for now, it's still not easy. However, for a professional designer, Midjourney is an extremely powerful tool for extracting new ideas and testing combinations never made before. Of course, these are just concepts, completely out of touch with reality, but still an excellent source of inspiration. I must say that I also tried mixes with two of the most iconic American cars from the 60s. Somehow, it didn't work out. It seems that these two cars have two strong personalities to come together. I must confess that I am very curious to see what Midjourney will be able to do in the near future. Because about 1 year ago, Midjourney could barely even get the number of fingers right, which means that over time, all these bugs will be fixed. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, which addresses an unusual topic for this channel. And if you'd like to see more of this kind of content in the future, feel free to say so in the comments section. Thank you for watching Racer TV. And as always, I hope to see you on the next video.